Guys, welcome back to Yoga Lab TV. My name is Stephanie, and in today's video, we'll be doing a short balancing flow. You may or may not need a block, so just get one handy. Okay, so let's just get started on the top of the mat. We'll start in tree pose. So tree pose is one of the most common or the first balancing pose a lot of us learn. So let's just start by shifting the weight onto the left heel. Bring the right knee up towards the chest and then open the hip up. Grab onto the heel and bring it to the inner thigh. So you can either stay like this. If it's your first time in a tree, feel free to bring it to your calf or just tap it on the mat. So choose whichever option works for you, something that you can sustain for a few breaths at least. And I like to start in the tree pose because it's a nice way to just warm up the body, using it as a way to maybe as a way to think about the breath, as a way to move with the breath. And a lot of times in balancing poses, we think that we need to be still. And when we're still, what actually happens is that we hold the breath, which is not really what we want. Instead, in balancing poses or in stillness is actually defined by dynamic movement, or at least that's what it means to me. So in a balancing pose, that's a great time for you to explore the body. I like to use the tree pose to start moving my body. It may look like my body is still, but what's actually happening is my body is making micro movements. For example, with every inhale, I start to expand the front body, lifting the chest up. And on the exhales, I soften the back body down, grounding the shoulders down, lengthening the tailbone down, grounding the heels all the way down. Let's just take a few more breaths here in the tree pose, just warming up the body, warming up the breath, calming the mind down. And then slowly bring the knee back in towards the chest and we'll switch sides. Start to shift the weight into the right foot, bring the left knee up towards the chest, open the heel up or the hip up and then grab into the heel, bring it to the inner thigh. So choose the option that works for you on the other leg. Again, same thing, you want to focus on micro movements. So as long as you're comfortable, just stay there with the breath, trying to make micro movements here, not holding the breath, not so much about staying still. In fact, the more you can move around, that's when you know you're free in the pose. So we'll just stay here for a few more breaths, thinking of lifting from the feet, from the heel, bringing the inner arches up, lifting the kneecap up, thigh, quadriceps up, lifting the belly up, chest up. And on the exhale, think about grounding the shoulders, relaxing them down, lengthening the tailbone down, digging the heel back down into the mat. Let's take one more breath here. And then slowly bring the knee back in towards the chest, and then drop the foot down. So now we'll start the flow. Hopefully we're a little bit more warmed up. Actually, in fact, if you have the time, I suggest doing a few rounds of sun salutations just to warm the body up. And then when you're ready, come back and join the video. So what we're going to do, we're going to start by shifting weight onto the left heel. You're going to bring the right knee up towards the chest, bend into that standing leg, cross that right leg over the left. Either stay like this, or if you're comfortable, maybe you bring the foot around the calf. Now, if you're new to this Garudasana pose, you can either stay like this, or you can bring your arms with your forearms touching, elbows in line with the shoulders. Now, either stay like this, or if you want to take it a step further, you can bring the right elbow down, left elbow on top, palms touching, and you want to focus on bringing the elbows above or in line with the shoulders, forearms away from the face. Now again, rather than thinking about how tight or how cramped your body feels, you want to think about expansion here. So in balancing poses, a lot of times we like to think we can't move, but rather than thinking of being still, think about moving and finding freedom and expansion in the pose. Let's just take one more breath here, lifting the shoulders up, lifting the elbows up, maybe sitting down even lower. And then keeping the hands as they are, release the leg. And I really like this part where we start to think about the transitions. So from here, we're going to shoot the leg back into Warrior 3, but we're going to visualize a box underneath the foot. and then start dragging the box all the way back so that that leg is energized, that foot is energized. And you're going to shift that leg back until you come into your warrior three. Now we're going to move around a few times like this, coming back, bringing the leg back in, so that we're not just staying still, but instead finding movement and freedom in the pose so that we can play around a little bit. Just one more breath here. Bring it back in. Now, I like to picture or visualize resistance with my foot, and just like how you would do a squat, when you add weights to your squat, it makes a squat more stable. So same thing, you want to add resistance or imagine resistance so that your leg is equalized, both weight, or the weight is equalized on both legs. Keep pushing that leg back. Stay in your warrior three, and then maybe you extend the arms out and then drop that right leg back, coming into your high lunge. Now take your time, find a nice comfortable stance in your high lunge, sit down nice into that front leg, straighten that back leg as much as you can, suck the belly in, and for that back leg, maybe stack the heel directly above the toes. Let's take one more breath here, and then ground that back heel down, split the arms open, coming into your warrior two. Now from the warrior two, we're going to bring a block. If you're using a block, you can have a block just in front of your mat. We're going to start to shift our gaze towards the block, landing the hand on that block, right hand on the lower back, and then drag that right heel forward, slowly shifting weight into that front leg and opening the leg up so that it's parallel to the mat. Either stay like this, or you can extend the arm all the way up, coming into your full half moon here. And then slowly drop that leg midway down the mat, plant the hands down, step the left foot back. Either stay like this in a modified side plank, or you can stack the right leg on top, coming into a full version of side plank here. Now, this is where I like to think of where the eyes go, the body goes. So you keep looking up, and on the exhale, you're going to curl underneath. Inhale, bring the arms up. And just one last one, exhale, curl underneath. Plant the hand back down, come back to your high plank. We'll take a vinyasa here. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale into your cobra or up dog. And exhale, push it back, downward dog. Step the right foot forward, left foot forward. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, rise up to stand, arms above the head. And exhale, palms to your heart. Okay, so let's do the same thing on the other side. So this time, start to shift the weight onto the right foot. Bring the left knee in towards the chest. And then bend into that standing leg. Cross the left leg over. Either stay like this if you took this option on the other side. Otherwise, maybe your foot comes behind your calf. Hands can stay down if you did that the first time round, or you can bring it up in front of you, forearms touching. Or if you want, maybe elbow or left elbow underneath the right. And as you sit here, slowly try to find expansion here rather than feeling cramped and tight. You want to lift the elbows up, pull the forearms away from the face, shift the shoulders back slightly, expand the torso and sit down low. Now, balancing poses are a really good time to start thinking about all these different visualizations or different thoughts that help you expand the body up. Let's take one more breath here. And then keeping the arms as it is, slowly release the legs, bring the knee back in towards the chest. Now we're going to start that visualization again. Imagine there's a box underneath you, or if you prefer, imagine there's water underneath, and you're kicking the wave all the way back, creating some sort of resistance here. Kicking the leg back till the body comes into one straight line. Now from here, I like to imagine myself as a seesaw, so I can go up and down as much as I want. Let's just shift the body up and down a few times, and if you fall out of the pose, just know that it's completely okay and it's part of balancing. One more time. Slowly shift the leg all the way back, creating a nice resistance so your body is stable on both sides. And then just stay here in your warrior three. Maybe you extend the arms out in front of you. Equal weight in the front body and the back body. Now, if the standing leg is tight, feel free to bend a little into the standing leg. Instead of thinking about how tight that standing leg is, see if you can shift your attention into your upper body, shift the attention into the back leg. So you create a nice stable weight here. And then slowly drop that back leg down, taking your time, find a nice high lunge stance. Sit low into that front leg. Take your time to find a comfortable, steady stance here. Maybe you lift that back knee up slightly. Stack the heel directly above the toes. Let's take one more breath here. And then ground that back heel down, split the arms open, warrior two. Now, even in your warrior two, think about your gaze, because gaze is extremely important in balancing poses. Just find a nice steady breath here, a comfortable breath, and when you're ready, you're going to use that same block. This time, bring it to the right corner of the mat. Shift the left hand into your lower back. Slowly start to shift your gaze forward, tapping the front arm onto the block. Drag the left foot behind, and slowly opening up to your half moon. Again, fix your gaze on something. Think about sending all your energy, all your attention there. Either keep your hand on the lower back, or if you want, slowly expand it all the way up. One more breath here. And then slowly lower down, drop the back foot just midway down the mat. Plant the hand down. Step the right foot back, coming into the outer edge of the heel. Either stay like this in your modified side plank, lift the left arm up, or maybe you start to stack leg over leg, lifting the hips up. And again, use your gaze to guide your body. Take an inhale here, and on the exhale, curl underneath. Inhale, reach up. Oops. That's completely okay. And then exhale, curl underneath. Plant the hand down, come back to your high plank. Let's take a vinyasa. Exhale to your chaturanga. Inhale into your cobra. Exhale, push back, downward dog. Step your left foot forward, right foot forward. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, rise up to stand, arms above the head, and exhale, hands to your heart. So thank you for flowing with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to Yoga Lab TV. Thank you, and see you soon.